Classical Music Readers, Level 3. The Works of Giuseppe Verdi. Copyright 2023 Seed Learning. All rights reserved. Who was Giuseppe Verdi? Giuseppe Verdi was an Italian composer who lived from 1813 to 1901. His most famous works include Rigoletto, 1851, Il Trovatore, 1853, La Traviata, 1853, and Aida, 1871. These works are performed all over the world. People enjoy his works because of their interesting characters and fun music. When he was a child, Verdi and his family lived in a small town in the north of Italy. At the age of 7, Verdi joined the choir at the town church and began to learn how to play the organ. Verdi was a talented musician, and at the age of 8, he became the church organist. At 13, he performed music that he wrote himself in a concert. Everyone loved it. It was clear that Verdi belonged in the world of music. After Verdi finished school, he moved to the big city of Milan, which many Italians believe is the home of Italian opera. The Teatro alla Scala, La Scala, in Milan is one of the most famous opera houses in the world. In Milan, Verdi got to know important people in the world of music. He joined a singing group, and with the support of the man who ran the singing group, he started to write his first opera. In 1834, Verdi found work teaching music at his old school. In 1835, he got married, and by 1838, he had 2 children. Sadly, both children died young. While he was writing his second opera, his wife Margherita also died. Although Verdi was very sad, he finished his opera, but no one liked it. Because of this, Verdi declared that he would never write music again. Luckily for music lovers, Verdi changed his mind. A friend asked him to write another opera, Nabucco. It was first performed in Milan in 1842 and was a great success. It was also performed in Austria, Spain, France, and Germany. After the success of Nabucco, Verdi moved back to Milan. From 1843 to 1849, Verdi wrote 2 operas a year. His plan was to become rich from his music and then become a farmer. Although he did not achieve this goal during his life, Verdi wrote over 25 operas. Toward the end of his life, Verdi worked to help others. He built retirement homes and hospitals for old musicians. Verdi's operas are full of catchy music. You probably know some of his music, even if you do not know about opera. After hearing one of Verdi's operas, you will have the music stuck in your head. For Verdi, the characters in an opera are all important. Even the bad guys are easy to like. We can feel sorry for both the good and the bad guys. The women in Verdi's operas are strong. In Verdi's time, women were often seen as weak. But Verdi's women don't just sit around waiting for men to save them. The themes in Verdi's operas also make them popular. Even though his works are now old, the themes are relevant today. His characters struggle to balance their personal lives with work. Some characters are forced into positions of power that they don't want. Another common theme is the parent-child relationship. These are themes that we can all relate to. Verdi loved the English writer William Shakespeare. He wrote several operas that were based on plays by Shakespeare: Macbeth, 1847, Othello, 1887, and Falstaff, 1893. La Traviata, 1853. La Traviata is an opera in 3 acts. It is based on a play by writer Alexandre Dumas. After seeing the play, Verdi decided to write an opera based on the story. People didn't like La Traviata much when it was first performed, but it is now the most performed opera in the world. Let's take a look at the story of La Traviata. Violetta Valéry is a rich young woman. Alfredo Germont, a young man from a good family, is in love with her. Alfredo tells Violetta of his love, but she loves another man. In time, Violetta falls in love with Alfredo. However, Alfredo's father does not want his son to be with Violetta, so he makes her break up with Alfredo. She goes to Paris. Alfredo does not understand why Violetta left him. Finally, Alfredo's father tells him the truth. Alfredo goes to Paris to ask Violetta to forgive him. When Alfredo arrives, Violetta wants to tell him that she still loves him, but she is sick, and she dies in Alfredo's arms. We can see the influences of La Traviata in the movies Pretty Woman, 1990, and Moulin Rouge, 2001. Music from the opera also appears in movies such as The Godfather, 1972, and La La Land, 2016. Rigoletto, 1851. Rigoletto was first performed at the Teatro La Fenice in Venice, Italy in 1851. The story and music were a change from many of the operas at the time. The story takes place in Mantua, a city in Italy. The time is the 1500s. Rigoletto works for the Duke of Mantua. Gilda is Rigoletto's daughter. Gilda and the Duke are madly in love. Rigoletto thinks that the Duke has kidnapped Gilda and taken her to his home. He pays money to a man named Sparafucile to kill the Duke. Gilda learns of her father's plan and wants to save the Duke. That night, she dresses in men's clothes and takes his place. Sparafucile mistakes Gilda for the Duke and kills her. He puts Gilda's dead body in a bag and gives the bag to Rigoletto. Rigoletto opens the bag. He sees that his daughter has been killed, not the Duke. Today, Rigoletto is still one of the most popular operas. Act 3 of Rigoletto contains one of the best-known pieces of music in all of opera, La donna è mobile. The woman is fickle. La donna è mobile has been used in many advertisements. Some examples include tomato sauce, body spray, and chocolate chip cookies. It has also been used in movies like Holmes and Watson, 2018, television shows, and video games such as Grand Theft Auto.